Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Friday the 20th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which is still holding above the old May resistance, 59.70, just about. And while we're above that, still looking for progress through 61.50 and even as high as 63.20 by the end of next month. On the downside, the obvious thing below 59.70 is that we have to test the 57.70 area and even the 50-day moving average, 57.17. If things go pear-shaped, ideally, we stay above 59.70. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here you can see that similar situation to the S&P. The old May resistance there, 21,500 above that, we're still looking for a move higher. RSI still above neutral 50, so not only taking out 22,200, the peak of the year so far, but heading as high as 23,000 by the end of next month. Worst case is some kind of test of the 21,000 area. Moving along to the stocks and starting off with Amaze, and here the picture that of a recovery, a break of a trend line there from back in March, and the 50-day line, $9.77. Above that, looking at the top of the triangle there, up to $15 by the end of next month. The next contender is Arqit, and here beautiful turnaround until we got to the upside yesterday as well, hitting the top of that channel that's drawn previously around $38. Above $38, which it looks as though we are on pre-market, looking for obviously a retest of the peaks from the turn of the year through towards $52. Looking for progress towards the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base at $59 as soon as the end of next month. Another decent mover is Circle Internet, and here what's interesting was one of our guesswork, well, everything's guesswork in this business, but one of our guesswork situations. We were looking for the shares to head up to $180 while they were up above the latest gap there around 135, which is what they've done. The upper parallel of that rising trend channel is up towards $250, and that's what we're looking for by the end of, well, we'll be looking for that by the end of next month, but if we're at 220, then it could be actually by the end of this month, while we hold above 180. Support ideally comes in at yesterday's close towards 199. Moving along to a situation which is looking strong indeed, which is Galectin. Here you can see that very, very solid candles, and the stock heading with determination towards the top of that rising trend channel drawn previously, $3.85. Looking with that over the course of today's session, or spilling over into Monday. Moving along to Imuneering, and here, rising trend channel there from September last year. Top of the channel there heading for $4, and we're looking for that while we're above recent resistance, $2.40. Another nice riser to look at is coming up next, and it is LZ. Here you've got the bear trap rebound through a rising 50-day line above the mid-channel line there at $21, looking for the top of the range, and at the upper parallel of that line up to $33 by the end of this month. A return visit to Leishen, and here we've had decent progress above the main resistance there around $6. Above $6, still looking for $12 or $13, perhaps by the end of next month. The next stock is not so familiar, and here you will see that we've got Pixelworks attempting to rebound, bear trap rebound there for the shares from below the April support, and basically below, or at least while we're above that $5.80 area, looking for the top of the range as high as $7.30 over the next couple of sessions. Best case would be up to $9 by the end of next month. Another situation to keep an eye on at the moment is Prenetics, and here wide rising trend channel rebound above the 50-day line, which is normally a bull signal in its own right, and looking for the top of the channel there at $14 to $15 by the end of next month, or at least while we're above the 50-day moving average at $6.43. Finishing off with a flourish, and it's Reliance Global. Here we've managed to beat the initial target there around $3, and then sort of slightly came back towards the close, but above $3. The view here is that we could still get up to $4.70, obviously the pre-market well below $3, so probably looking for support towards the gap there. Gap floor at around $2.30. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.